Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Janice. I want to bring in Senator Thom Tillis, Republican from North Carolina, who is watching this from Charlotte. And Senator, welcome to our coverage here. Tell us what you're hearing in your home state so far today, Senator.
What we're trying to do is be best prepared for the storm. I encourage anyone who is out along the coast or even just a few miles inland to heed the warnings of your local elected leaders and emergency response officials to get out of the way of the storm, because we expect water, we expect wind, lightning, possibly tornadoes. The best thing you can do is retreat and take advantage of evacuation shelters and other facilities available in North Carolina.
You know, the thought that comes to my mind immediately is our experience when we were there covering Hurricane Florence a year ago this month. And what it's hard to imagine is when you're in the city of Wilmington and all that water comes in, you're on the high point of the bathtub and all the water surrounds you and you can't get anywhere. And that goes on for hundreds of miles. The other thought, Senator, I know you remember this well also. 20 years ago this month, Hurricane Floyd was destined for Jacksonville, Florida, and it took a northern turn and parked itself over North Carolina as well. And the flooding was extensive. Both storms causing historic flooding in your state. And I have to think that is top of mind right now for you and others in the Tar Heel State.
That's exactly right. Wind is dangerous, but water is deadly. Most of the deaths from hurricanes occur as a result of floods, as a result of the storm surge. We have a geography very similar down in Charleston. We've got a lot of rivers draining out into the ocean in that area. When the tides come in and we have a surge at the same time, it can be devastating miles inland. That's why getting out of harm's way is the best message that people can receive over the next 48 hours.
Yeah. I don't know if you've had any contact with the U.S. Coast Guard, but I know you've seen the images from the Bahamas. Is there anything you can add as a member of the U.S. Senate as to how they're doing and how we will ultimately be able to help, Senator?
Well, we've already got Coast Guard on the ground helping with recovery efforts. That Coast Guard is already pre-positioned to help North Carolina and South Carolina. We've got Dorian has put a number of millions of people on alert. Many people evacuated. The best thing you can do for the Coast Guard, for the National Guard, emergency management, is get out of their way so that they can be prepared for the storm's impact, and then they'll be there to help you get back into your homes after it's safe to return.
Yeah. One final comment, if you don't mind, Senator. I'm hearing the trucks on the beach behind me again. The one thing they want to make sure, Senator, is that no one goes in the water. In order to prevent that to happen, they have to keep people off the beach. That was hard to do yesterday. More than half the people stayed behind to ride this storm out. And that, I know as a public official, you always want to warn people to get out of the way, but sometimes it's easier said than done when you're watching a radar system hour after hour and day after day, and you're telling people to be patient and hang on. But it can be hard to do when you're trying to control, well, a lot of things that are out of your power. And that's right, Mother Nature. How do you counsel someone who's just weary from watching that radar for a week and a half?
Use common sense. I mean, this storm was a Category 5 storm, but I will remind everybody in North Carolina, Florence and Matthew were Category 2 storms. We had a loss of life. We have people still out of their homes from Hurricane Matthew. So take this storm seriously. If you had a tropical storm coming through your neighborhood and it was 40, 50 mile per hour winds, you would be concerned. This is twice or more that sort of ferocity and a storm surge. So please, do not discount the danger of this storm. Get out of the way and don't put a first responder in the position where they have to risk their lives because you chose to wait out the storm. This is a serious storm. The best thing you can do is protect your family, protect your pets, move away from the path of the storm, and then return when it's safe and sound.
Thank you, Senator. Good luck, okay? Dorian's coming your way. Bill. Question of when and how strong. Senator Thom Tillis, thank you, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Back to Julie now in New York.
All right, Bill, a new look at the devastation